question 3. What have you learned from your audience feedback? Throughout our advanced portfolio, we have used audience feedback throughout the process of creating our music video, starting from the beginning with creating a questionnaire that we found useful when deciding what artist to choose. We've done this questionnaire to get a general idea of what the public and our target audience would be and what they would like to see in a music video. For example, we asked them their age, gender, where they live, where they're from, favourite genre, least favourite, and their favourite element in a music video. I asked people such as family, friends, peers, and also people online to get a wider range and getting some people from across the world. From this, we realised that most people's favourite element in the music video was the narrative, being able to relate to the music video and actually understand the protagonist's emotion portrayed throughout. If not, then the music video had to be rather artistic to overcome the non-narrative. Most people's favourite genre was the indie genre, and this is why we chose to do the indie genre for our music video, as people decided that there was a wider range of different styles within this genre, rather than pop just being one set way, and so forth with rock. Throughout the process of our music video, we gathered a lot of audience feedback from our peers and our teacher, as well as me personally asking my family and friends to watch the drafts we have. From this, we gathered what people's favourite ideas was, whether to expand a bit more on the narrative, change certain aspects, and from doing so, we realised that people really did love the narrative and were able to understand it straight away. They loved the idea that it was quite mysterious and that you'd have to really think about the narrative rather than it just being very obvious. When asking my brother to watch our draft, he always so agreed that our music video was quite professional when you compare it to the actual music. This we found was very beneficial, as it gave us quite some confidence knowing that multiple people did enjoy our music video, even though it was only at the draft stages. And then after that, after our product was completed, we held a media showcase where our AS and A2 were able to showcase their final products to an audience of about 100 people from all different ranges and genders, for example little kids to elderly adults. They were all asked if they wanted to fill out a form, a little sheet, which every group had one, and they were asked questions such as: who do you think the intended demographic was? Does the editing style fit the beat of the song? Do you understand the narrative, and if so, what is it about? What your favourite element in the music video is, if there is one, and if so, why, and if there is any improvements. From this, we gathered around 45 different sheets where people filled in a lot of detail. For question 1, who is your intended demographic, we found that most people either said young female teenagers or completely the opposite, any age at all. There was no set age, which we found quite eye-opening, as we did feel that it was quite targeted towards the teenagers or the younger adults, but to say that it's suited for anyone shows that we have opened up our narrative and our music video to fit a wider audience, which is excellent. For question 2, everyone did say, out of 41 people who answered, said that the beat fit perfectly with our song, which is amazing how we spent so long trying to perfect it and getting sure the beat would fit, each shot would change, getting the beat done, which to have everyone say the beat fits perfectly is amazing. For question 3, we decided to focus around theorist Roland Barthes, and by this we have got a very open narrative, and by this is, if we had a thread of wool, for example, each bit of string would be an interpretation. We decided to do this as it creates an enigma code, quite a mysterious narrative, and we feel from personal experience that if you realise that a narrative is quite confusing, it would intrigue you more and make you watch the video in more detail, maybe watching it, googling more about the narrative, trying to find out more, because if you're interested, you'd want to find out what actually happens to our protagonist, for example. So we had no set in stone reason, our narrative, but we had a general idea of like mental health and escapism, since the song is Free the Animal. A lot of people did get this idea about escapism and mental health. For example, we mainly had it around multiple personality disorder. Most people did say mental health and escapism. A couple said there was a few reasons, there was a few different ideas that could be interpreted from the narrative, such as the escapism, the inner demons, the mental health, that it's not actually real life, that it's just all in her head. And then some people said like breaking free, which also relates. And one person said that it shows how lost and isolated she has come, and because of this is made her become insane, which also links very well to what we kind of wanted to portray about the freedom and trying to be freed. For question 4, we asked how is the music video, like what is your favourite part of the music video? A lot of people were very kind and said that all of it was their favourite. They could not narrow down to one choice, which is so overwhelming that people have said this, because it means that they really enjoyed our music video and that all our work has come out great, which is amazing. Most people overall said that they loved either the hospital scene, the colour scene, or the forest and insert shots. Most people said for the insert shots that they loved the randomness and how it led to unravelling the mystery a bit more. For example, the helicopter. Most people didn't understand about the hospital scene and where she was until they saw this helicopter, and it kind of gave them an idea that, oh, maybe she's been taken away somewhere. The hospital scenes, most people love that because of the realism that you can see in the emotion of the protagonist's face. You can see her real struggle trying to break free as the paramedics are holding her down. And most people love the coloured shots as it broke up the music video, and also people did get the idea that this also showed her multiple personality, as in this we had people showing different shots and have her screaming in anger and also looking scared to show all her emotions mixed into one. And finally, question 5, which is, if you could improve anything, what would be if we were to shoot again? From the beginning we kind of knew that we would struggle with our lip syncing because of how fast paced our song was, that the lip syncing would be quite hard to catch up with and make sure it's completely spot on. So we kind of guessed, and also 8 people agreed with this and said the lip syncing was slightly off throughout, especially at the beginning. And we did find that the beginning shots were quite poor for the lip syncing because we're so focused on the choreograph elements that we weren't too focused on the lip syncing, that she was trying to remember what she had to do for the next step. So if we were to shoot again, probably we would make sure we knew the song lyrics completely before we went on to shoot. A few people actually said that the ending was quite cut off, and we did find this because our song is originally 5 minutes long, so to try and cut it down to 3 minutes 30 around that, it was quite hard to find a specific point where it did sound like the end of the song, and by around that point we couldn't really see anything that would fade out, and we couldn't figure it out on iMovie, which did mean that it kind of made the video cut short as if they were expecting something else to happen. So if we were to carry on and reshoot, we'd make sure that we find a correct ending for our music video, maybe fade it out a bit more and have a shot after the music could stop to show that yes, the video has ended now. After the media showcase was over and all the products had been seen, we went round to film people and asked them similar questions about what we should include, like what we should have done better, what their favourite part was, simply asking to expand on the results that we have on these sheets.
I really liked the colourful mid shots.
Yeah.
Shots that you take helicopter in the air.
Yeah.
All the insert shots are really good as well. Yeah, just say definitely hospital scene.
Hospital. Why?
Because they just like your emotions like in those scenes do like really really well. Or like my favourite bit was the when she was the chorus or something was coming on and she got up from the bed and all the lines of the was like really when she was trying to fight back.
I really like the bits that were like colour. So you know, like the lighting, there's fast paced shots when you're like I like it going crazy. Yeah, and when you're like laying down and then the shot changes over.
Oh, the hospital thing.
Yeah, I really liked that, and it was.
And I like the sped up one of you and you're looking at the camera and you're coming towards me and you're going crazy.
She was conflicted.
That's crazy. If it was a she was strapped, she was trying to get something, or there was something holding her back, and it was the people representing something.
Yeah.
Very strong outline. I think it worked fast paced, yeah, definitely. It was sort of like represented the mental state. She was going a little bit.
Yeah, a bit
crazy.
Yeah.
A bit off kilter, and it really worked. I think.
the song. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the use of colours.
Yeah.
That's really good. And the fashion images.
Yeah.
Fashion light.
Yeah.
It's really good. I like it.
Yeah.
Would you like the fast
Movement.
but then the mouth is just like a bit.
The hospital bit. Yeah.
I actually liked it when you had yourself and then you were upside down as well. So that was kind of fun. I didn't see that anywhere. I think it helped reflect her anger. Yeah. How
Beautifully. Like that reflected her, she was like going crazy.
Yeah.
It, like suited like the pace of the song.
Like
I think it was mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely with the lip sync works very well. Yeah.
I suppose it also goes along with our narrative.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like it was so good, but then I think feeling enough. I was like, oh, what's going on? Yeah.
Okay. So you think we could have like changed the ending a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that was a bit weird. I was like, I was waiting for the song to finish.
Yeah.
The song never finishes.
It's like 6 minutes. Like it's so long.
It's like, wait,
Yeah. So do you think we could have changed it a bit?
yeah, I don't know.
Be honest.
There, and I was like, oh, okay, and then it just stopped. I want it to
Yeah. And my face will be longer. Alright, thank you.
Overall, having feedback is really beneficial to us, as we have always tried to take into consideration what these people have said, as they would be our demographic, that we had to include what they felt would work well as well. So it wasn't just us working on it as a group. We had our peers, we had family, we had friends, and by constantly showing the drafts to family, we was able to get criticism that we may not have seen. We might have been blindsided by it, as we've worked on it for quite a while. You kind of hope that, like, no, it's perfect, I don't see that. Whereas when I did show someone a draft, they noticed a silly little error towards the end, how we completely just missed out a bit of lip syncing, for example, and we did not really click on that as much as we should have, because we had been working on it for so long that we were so happy with the results that by showing this throughout the process, it eliminated a lot of errors, as well as giving us great ideas as well. So overall, what we would do to improve would be our lip syncing and the ending. For lip syncing, we would make sure again that we would narrow down on the lip syncing to make sure she know the lyrics properly. Although because of the fast pace, it was quite difficult to really accentuate with her mouth and be able to lip sync correctly. But we would try and possibly enhance this. Maybe if we found the lip syncing too difficult, cut it a little bit to make it a little bit more choppy, so we didn't have to have the whole, for example, verse being on the show for the lip syncing, which we could improve next time. And also, as the scene goes on, at the end of the shots, she really gets into it and like is able to show her emotions, like scream and shout. Whereas at the beginning, we was focused on the choreography too long, and she was thinking about what step to take next and what she was going to do. Whereas scenes when it was out in the open, it was her by herself. So maybe have more rehearsing time if we're doing choreography again, because that really did take a toll on what we had to do, rather than focusing on the lip syncing and the camera angles. So that's something we can definitely improve on. And also the ending shot, maybe we could have added an extra shot at the end after the music had stopped to say that this is the end of our music video, and there is nothing else to add to it, because of how we had to cut the music short. So we could have possibly found another way to fade out the song, or find a better point to end it rather than at this point we chose, but also maybe have more of a dramatic ending shot. So our final shot, it also does leave mystery, which we wanted in a sense, but it doesn't. People have said especially in the video, that people were a bit like, oh, I expected something else to come out of that rather than it just ending. So that is something we definitely improve on.